What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals. My name is D. Oh, Jesus.
Just keep going.
Keep going at this point.
One day I'm going to get the intro right. 3D Rivals, the
podcast. Jeez. You been drinking? What's going on?
It's been a week. Okay?
Oh, my goodness.
All
Wow.
right, some of this you're going to have to cut out.
All right. Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and I am joined, as always, by my siblings, my sister,
Dharma,
and Greg, and my brother.
I was going to say Greg. But Derek, what's up, everybody?
All right, so what's up, everybody? We are going to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 6 this week. So it just had its finale a couple of weeks ago, but since...
It was last week.
It was last week, yeah. But we didn't have our podcast last week, so we're going to talk about it now and see what everybody thought. So let's just jump into it. What do you guys think about the overall story for Season 6?
I would say overall, I think it was good, but as always with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. seasons, there was always just something about it that just irks me so much. So it was like good-ish, but I feel like, as always, like, it could have been better, but it wasn't bad.
All right, Derek?
Yeah, I agree. The season as a whole, overall, was definitely good. I enjoyed it. I like how the season was shortened and the pace of each episode. Like the end of each episode, I'm wanting to quickly watch the next one. So definitely kept my interest throughout the whole season.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like the shorter season actually worked a lot better for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Because we, on all the seasons, it always felt like you had these episodes in there and you're like, why? Or like they just hung on a plot line for so long, like you were mentioning last season.
Yeah, that it takes so long to get to the point. Like last season, I actually like skipped like 6 episodes in between because it was like, okay, initially they're being in space. In the future, I'm like, okay, this is cool, and they're trying to get home. I just felt like it took so long for them to get there. Yeah. Which like I got tired of watching it. Yeah,
because there was a certain point where I'm like, all right, so we're gonna get back because I think like you already technically figured out how. Let's go. Yeah. We didn't have that in this season, but I do agree that I don't know. It started off way stronger than it ended. Like it started off, it was interesting, and I wanted to know what happened, and then the way it ended just.
Yeah, it was a little blah to me. I felt like the ending was, I don't want to say confusing, but I just didn't understand where Sarge, like, whose side were you really on? Because I felt like he never, what was her name? Ezreal or something?
Izel.
Because I felt like at the end, can I skip to the end?
Yeah. Oh, spoilers for season 6 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, okay. Because it's like, okay, it's like, so at the end and they're in the chamber or whatever, I felt like he wasn't really even on her side. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I was confused too. I was thinking that before I came over. I'm like, man, I want to kind of rewatch the last 30 minutes of the last episode. Because, all right, so he stabs May, right? And I was thinking, I'm like, okay, but they kind of said he was pretty good. So I was like, was there a reason?
Right.
Does he know something? I'm like, okay, I'm waiting to see what's going to happen, right? And it turns out he sends her into the other dimension, which it kind of stops her from dying at that point.
Right.
So she can fight any other dimension. So I'm like, oh, that's why he did it. But, turns out she comes back, she continues to die. So,
So that's not why he did it. At first I thought that maybe that was their like plan all along, but I guess it wasn't. It just so happens that she doesn't die in the other dimension.
Yeah.
But then it felt like he still wanted to kill this Izel lady.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand, well, why did you stab May?
And then Mac came, and I thought he was going to be like, oh, no, this is the plan. And no, he was the bad guy.
It was just so weird. It made no sense to me.
Yeah, none of that made sense.
Yeah, like, I didn't understand his end game there, because I felt like there was no end game. You stabbed May for no reason, and then you still was like, I'm still going to kill Izelle. I'm like, well, then you could have killed her when you had a chance.
Without stabbing May.
Without stabbing May.
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I thought I missed something. I was like, man, I'm going to have to look at this again. But now that we're all talking about it, okay. And we're all on the same page.
Yeah, no, didn't make sense.
Yeah, that was weird.
I guess I didn't understand what his purpose was.
Yeah. So, and that was the thing. It kind of, the last few episodes, I would say about the last 3 or 4 episodes, I'm like, once they revealed that Sarge was really like an alien being that was created. This is the dimension Ghost Rider is from, right?
I think they said that, yeah.
Yeah, so, and whatever they are, Sarge was one of, like, it created a body for Coulson, and this being was with him in that, I guess. And it's weird. So what is Izelle? Like, I don't understand, because don't they need a body to be able, in order to be able to be
on Earth, they need a body. Yeah, that army she's bringing, they need a body. So I guess she's like the queen of the army, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and so she's
and basically what it was saying, like, she has to kill those people so that they will have bodies for them to be able to inhabit, for them to be able to dwell in that dimension. So it's just like, if they don't have the bodies, then they can't function in that dimension. But for whatever weird thing that what it was with Coulson, it kind of had like Coulson's memories as well.
Right.
Because, okay, so also the monoliths don't make sense anymore. I'm confused by
No,
that.
it doesn't.
Maybe we should start off, because I feel like we're jumping around.
Yeah, okay, well, that was the end part, the last few episodes. That's what we didn't like about it. But leading up to that, now that you mention it, because she's the queen and she wants to, wants to have all these human hosts so they can live in our dimension.
Right. So basically, she tried to do this on several planets, and Sarge, like, before you realize what he's doing, he's like chasing her around dimensions and Earths. Pretty much killing or destroying any planet that she shows up on, trying to get her.
Yeah.
Right.
And so as it turns out, and well, I guess it kind of makes sense, because if you remember, he said he always has this, he's hunting her. And she said, no, you're seeking me out. And once he remembers, he actually was mad at her for some reason, because he said she left him to die or something like that.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Which I thought they couldn't die, so I'm confused about that. But but so it turns out he really didn't like her. So that's probably why he had this urge to go chase her around and kill her.
Right, but then in the end, he could have just stabbed her.
Yeah, he didn't. So I don't.
And then he decided, I'm going to choke you instead.
Right.
Weird. I don't know.
Okay.
But leading up to this, what was leading up? It was the monolith. Oh, how did Sarge come to be about, period, right? Because he looks and sounds like Coulson. He has Coulson's memories or feelings or whatever.
Yeah.
So the way they explained it is the monoliths that we had, which I forgot about the third one, but that was introduced last season.
I don't know. There's so many, and I'm so tired of them.
Was introduced last season.
So apparently their time, space, and creation, that's a weird trio of things. Usually it's not those three things. Time and space.
Because obviously they made it up as they went along. They said, hey, how will this work? What if there was another one of these? Is what they did.
So what they did in the last season, when they had, like, it was making their fears come to life, basically it was opening up the dimension that they were from, the aliens, Izelle and Sarge, where they were from. And it created another Coulson in the past somewhere else in space. Right. Like, I don't know. The writing on this season, not so great.
It didn't make any sense. And even them trying to explain it, I was just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's...
because Fist is like...
It feels like they started out with wonderful ideas and then, like, could not come up with how to conclude it.
Yeah, and then, like, they couldn't decide whether the monoliths made, like, aberrations, like fake people, right, or real people.
Because, okay, that boy, he shouldn't be
Flint.
Real, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. So
No,
they're saying it made a real Coulson, you know, right?
Right.
Inside, wait. If he was in time and space, how did he end up in the other dimension for the bad guy to be a part of, like...
Who, Coulson?
Sarge.
You have to go all the way back to that season.
No, they don't explain it then, because they didn't think of it then.
They didn't explain any of this.
Okay,
hey, I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt.
Besides that, they can't decide whether it makes real people or not, because one, it made a real Coulson, right? And then when she was torturing the scientist guy, she had it make his husband or whatever.
Yeah, Thomas, but he was completely fake.
But he was fake, and in the last season with the fear stuff, they were fake, like they weren't real.
Yeah. You just have to realize, like, this isn't real. This isn't really happening. But
then again, in the end of the season, it made a real Flint.
Right. Who should have disappeared at some point.
Right. When everything was destroyed.
So I'm just like, do they make real people or do they make fake people? What's the
They
deal?
did not make that clear.
So yeah, that did not make sense at all. So the creation of Sarge didn't make sense. The monolith things don't make sense, and the bad guys are lackluster.
They should have.
Can we say this? Is that last season was supposed to be probably the last season of the show completely, and then it was like, we can do another season. So since they killed off Coulson, they needed an excuse for Coulson to be back on the show.
Yeah, but everybody was like, all the fans were speculating, hey, they'll do an LMD. Right? Because that's a way to bring him back without making his death meaningless.
Right.
And I mean,
which they ended up doing anyway.
Yeah, and we'll get to that. But why didn't you just do that?
Because
instead of this convoluted...
Well, starting off, I didn't mind the Sarge thing. It's how they ended it is how I minded it. Because they made it seem like, we're getting in touch with his Coulson memories, only for it to be Alien God like, nope, you didn't.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I didn't mind the Coulson thing either, because it was interesting figuring out why he existed and who he was and why he's doing what he's doing. But I just don't like their explanation of it. I was like, that's stupid. And I agree. I feel like they came up with this idea and they didn't know how to answer it.
Yeah.
And then so they just made up something.
That's what it seems like to me. There was also a side story with the Chromicons. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, the Chromicons.
I believe so.
Which I felt like should have probably been the focus.
Definitely should have been. That was way more interesting.
Yeah, and they were always left with like 5-minute snippets in every episode to remind you that
they were there.
They were there.
Yep.
And I'm like, I keep forgetting about these people.
Yeah, but that was definitely way more interesting. I mean, I guess they needed a reason for their planet to have been destroyed.
Right. So basically, it's like their planet got destroyed and they want to create another one.
You know what this feels like, to be honest?
What?
And I just thought about this. You know how every season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is like 2 different seasons?
Yes.
You got the first half, which is one thing, and the second half ends up being another.
This is the second half of that.
This is the first half of the season. So even though they made it shorter, all
it's
they
one
did...
season.
Yeah.
You know what? I think you're right, because they shot 6 and 7 back to back.
Yeah.
But they renewed 6 and 7 at the same time.
Yeah.
So they knew exactly what they were doing.
So now that you said it, because the Chromicon thing was kind of weaved in throughout this entire season.
Yeah.
And that's what they do in the first season. You get snippets of some of the stuff, like the Ghost Rider LMD season, right? Mm-hmm. First half of the season was mainly Ghost Rider. And, we had little things of the LMD and the framework, kind of. And then the second half of the season, framework and Ava,
Yeah.
So that's what they did. I'm just not realizing that. And that's what they did.
Yeah.
Horrible.
So the Cormicons, their planet got destroyed, and they want to create a new one. And they come up with this idea that they're going to do it on Earth. And S.H.I.E.L.D., apparently, is the only people that can stop them from accomplishing their mission. Because, of course.
Yeah.
Why would it be S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Why would it be S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Hey, what would make sense that it would only be able to be S.H.I.E.L.D. that can stop them? If half the people had disappeared. Right?
Yes.
If
this was happening in that 5-year gap, that makes perfect sense. Because the world is already decimated. There is no one to fight. The superheroes are gone. Yeah. Nick Fury is gone. That would make perfect sense for why these people went after the S.H.I.E.L.D. people who live on the ship.
Yeah.
Like, they live in an airplane.
That's true. Yeah, there's S.H.I.E.L.D. is an airplane.
Like, S.H.I.E.L.D. is based out of D.C. Like, when you attack that base of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
yeah,
not the people that's been flying around the Earth for 7 years.
So yeah, that it would make sense at that point. But I don't know. We had Captain Marvel at that point, so maybe not.
Remember, she's protecting space. She ain't never got time for the stuff that go on Earth.
All right, so so they want to take over Earth, and this doesn't make sense. This is clear, like it's 100% clear that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not and will never again be a part of the MCU, because it's just doesn't make sense. So we were talking earlier about why is Mac the director of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Nick Fury is back.
Right.
100%.
Well, Mac would be the wrong choice to be director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, he would.
And I don't know if y'all noticed, Nick Fury pop in and out. Nick Fury ain't like, dude, I'm the director.
Yeah.
I'm not about to go into war.
Yeah.
I show up and tell you what to do, then I disappear.
Right. There's other things that I'm taking care of.
Like, I don't know, running a spy organization.
Right.
From his office in D.C.
Yeah, so a little weird. But all that set aside, so they want to take over Earth. And so this was interesting. So they didn't explain how. So basically they jumped back in time. Right.
So Enoch came up with this grand idea, apparently, that in order to save S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't know why, they had to go back in time. And I'm guessing there's something in the past that can help them stop this from happening in the future.
Yeah.
And here's my problem with that. Didn't we already do this in last season?
The season 5?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
So why are we doing time jump again?
I don't know.
I don't know. That was one of my other annoyances.
Especially if it doesn't
with the
follow
season
the
finale
rules of time travel that the MCU has set up.
We don't know it follows. It follows the rule of time. Oh, no, it can't because it affects the future.
Yeah.
So they're not following the rules of time travel.
Yeah, because even though I know, in-games time travel was a bit confusing, but the one thing you can take away from it is that when you go into the past, it does not change the future.
It does not change the future, yeah.
So...
Right.
Which seemed to me first make sense because Deke is still around.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, him being in the past does not change the future.
Yeah.
Alternate timeline.
Because Fitz and Gemma is still his grandparent.
But if they go back in the past to save the Earth, that doesn't make any sense anymore.
Yeah. Well, we have to see what they do in next season.
They don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Well, they do because they already shot.
But I was interested because look, a S.H.I.E.L.D. led by Fitz and Simmons, I'm down for. I agree with that.
I cannot. Why couldn't they just make S.H.I.E.L.D. like a field office of S.H.I.E.L.D.? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like FBI field office in Missouri or something.
And they handle like the.
They handle these cases. Like, why is we're the S.H.I.E.L.D.? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And if you're the S.H.I.E.L.D., how come you don't have the big helicarrier?
Which was brought back.
In
the second season of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. So, why y'all living in the lighthouse, which is underground or something?
Yeah.
Or I'm just like, y'all got a giant flying spaceship.
Yeah, because that was brought back in Avengers Ultron, and that was season 2, wasn't it?
I believe that was season 2.
Yeah, because that was the one with the Inhuman.
Right, and they were all
thing.
mad because Coulson's keeping secrets.
Yeah.
And that was his giant secret.
The helicopter.
And how you gonna get mad at a spy for keeping secrets?
I know, right?
They seem to do that all the time.
They seem to do that a lot. Like, y'all are spies, though, right?
They ain't spies. None of them are spies. May is a spy.
May is the spy.
That's it.
Yeah. Everyone else, we shouldn't kill. You a spy.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So at the beginning of this season, they're all, instead of working with Sarge, because especially once you found out that he's basically trying to stop the destruction of their planet.
Yeah.
Instead of figuring out how to work together, they still want to work against him because they said he's a murderer. But I'm like, you're S.H.I.E.L.D. You're a spy agency. Like
S.H.I.E.L.D. murder.
James Bond kills people.
I feel like S.H.I.E.L.D. murder is what you do.
That's what they did in the first season.
I mean, like, let's real talk. You have Black Widow. She did not get her name for being nice.
Yeah. They definitely don't.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
She's a straight up assassin, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, of course, not killing innocent people.
Well, and I get, like, you're right. Sarge was killing people, but you realize, like, okay, he had a noble reason for doing this. To get this chick who's getting ready.
His reason behind
right, she's getting ready to destroy your planet. I feel like you should have been working with him. Mm-hmm. Instead, like, we stopped the bomb. He can't kill. I'm like, but now you still got the crazy zombie lady.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all's like, we stopped it. Y'all didn't come up with a way to kill her, though. Like, I get stop the bomb, but also kill her.
Right.
And that was not in their plans.
So, yeah. Well, season 6 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I guess we need to give it a rating. That was basically it. Was there another thing you wanted to bring out?
How much I hoped Yo-Yo died.
Oh, I thought she was going to die.
I was so, and I'm like, this is taking longer than a half an hour. That killer guy died a lot faster. I'm like, why is she holding on? Kill her already.
My thing is, okay, so the little bat things fly, and like in order to take over you, they fly through your mouth, right?
Yes.
So,
bite down on it?
No.
Oh.
Okay, I would say you could grab it out, but I get you might be in shock, so Yo-Yo maybe not. But Quake was sitting
her power
right there
when she needs to, because before she used her power to kill all of them. Then she's like, it won't work.
Yeah,
it worked before.
Yeah, she broke him to pieces, which is in her power set. They didn't make that up. Like Quake can do that.
So then, could she have done that with the zombie people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead, she random. They're gonna chase me to my only escape plan.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so now you have the zombie people on your airship. Like,
yeah, I'm like, she
sense.
could have, because what she did basically, it was in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
She like vibrated them to pieces, like. Yeah. Which she has the power to do.
So why didn't she do that?
I'm like, that's your trump card. That's what you do whenever you face these bat thingies. You just...
Yeah, stupid. Yeah. But I was really hoping that she didn't. Disappointing.
So I was like, okay, you could have stopped it before it crawled into her mouth. Like, I don't understand. You just sat there like, oh my gosh.
I just feel like if I know I'm fighting crazy bats, I would have on like a mask or something.
Yeah, wouldn't
Yeah.
Right, though? Yeah. Like, I know they like,
you know that's the only way they can get into you to take over you.
Right.
Oh, okay, so Izelle can phase into people, right?
Yeah.
They created something to stop that, but they didn't create anything to stop her bats from taking over people. What? That makes no sense.
It was something easy, just something to cover your mouth.
Yeah. And then they had that whole thing with stopping her from phasing into people, and it was like one scene.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, like that was pointless. We spent like a half hour on this.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we also made bullets. I was like, okay, great. Here's my thing. When they went on that island, like, yo, first of all, I would not have put that in a handgun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nah.
Like, real talk. And then one of us is going to have a gun when we face her. Like, y'all went in there with daggers.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, low range.
That was my number one thing. I was like, hold on, you made bullets. to kill the zombie-like things, but you gonna go in there and fight her with a sword?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you just go in and shoot her?
Real talk.
Yeah.
Because May don't like guns. Look. And then May had them itty bitty dagger things. I'm like, yo.
Like, that was... I can't anymore. All right, rating for season 6.
It seemed like we came up with a whole lot more bad stuff about the show than good.
Yeah.
Well, there was more bad.
There was. And the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, well, why didn't they do this?
Yeah. Dharma, your rating for season 6 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
6.5.
All right, Derek?
I give it a 6.
Okay.
5.
Nah, I did enjoy the beginning of the season. It was actually good. I'll give it a 6, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, it's the ending I had the most issues with. I just feel like there's a lot of things that didn't make sense.
Well, and their explanations kind of retroactively make some of the decisions worse from the beginning.
Oh, I
of the
guess
season.
we didn't really mention that Coulson's a LMD now. Did we mention that?
We forgot. Derek touched on it. Yeah. So, not only did they go in the past, but they made an LMD Phil Coulson.
Because Coulson has all the secrets. He knows everything, and they feel like he's what's going to help them stop the Chromicons from taking over. And so that's that, and we miss him. Of course you do.
Yeah, and it's rumored that Agent Carter may be in next season as well. Which is kind of
cool. Agent Carter is awesome.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I wish they skipped season 6 and just went on to season 7. But instead, this whole thing is just season 6. Like I mentioned before, they just...
Season 6 part 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just split it up and going to put it a year apart instead of how they normally do it. Okay. So, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 6, it's
watchable.
All right.
See it if you want it.
You may not like the ending. That's basically it. So, now, as always, we talk box office. We did not see Hobbs and Shaw, but we are planning on seeing that eventually. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. However, I did wanted to go over its box office. So, first weekend, 180 million, domestically opening with like 60. And after its second weekend, total box office 332 million. So it's doing pretty well.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you have notes in about how bitter Tyrese is about this movie?
Yeah. Is he?
Well, I'm guessing he's mad because Rock broke off, and so this is like a spin-off from like all the other ones. I don't really know what the whole issue is, but Tyrese went on this rant and rave and basically was like, I don't know what you're celebrating. This is really not all that good, or blah, blah, blah. I'm like, seems like it's making money to me, but he was just like...
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think they had like a kind of a rivalry.
It was like a kind of a falling out, and I guess he's kind of angry that Rock broke away to do his own thing, and we were supposed to stick together.
But that was the plan initially, though.
Yo, I don't know what the dude's issue was. He just seemed really bitter and petty and was just like, I mean, that's not even really successful, though. All of our movies need more than that. Okay.
Well, yeah, but it's not the Fast and Furious. It's a spin-off. And spin-offs in general don't make as much as where they came from.
Tyrese, you're not the star, though.
Yeah.
No, he is not.
like real talk. No one cares that you're in these movies.
So,
right.
Yeah,
He could not be in the next one, and no one bat an eye.
Yeah, no one cares.
Yeah, no one's gonna be like, man, I'm not gonna watch the movie, man. How they just Tyrese out?
Yeah.
Like they couldn't come up with a lame excuse to bring back Han, and everybody be like, okay.
Definitely always, anyways.
Yeah. So I mean that's pointless, but I kind of want to see it, so
yeah,
we may check it out, and it seems like it's doing well, so
good. It
might be worth a watch. Now it seems like as good a time as any to get into the news. And as always, we'll go to our correspondent, Dan. He got the news for this week. So, Dan?
No, still no Dan.
Still no Dan. Okay. I don't... We went and hired this guy.
Yeah.
He was supposed to eventually replace Derek, but he's just not... He's dropping the ball here.
I told you.
Yeah.
Like Beyonce, I'm irreplaceable.
No. I'm going to need you not to compare yourself to Beyonce.
Because of the song?
No, yeah, I get it. It's because of the song.
To the left, to the left.
Yeah. So
Everything from the studio is in the box to the left.
regardless of our lack of Dan, I got some news to go over here. G.I. Joe. Remember we talked about how there was
G.I. Joe was in the news? Okay.
Remember we talked about how there's a spinoff for Snake Eyes coming out?
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah, we talked about it a long time ago.
Apparently there's going to be another movie or something that they're working on.
In addition to the Snake Eyes?
Yeah, so not Snake Eyes, but another.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah.
So did they scratch out the whole Snake Eye idea?
No, that's still happening. So
okay.
2 more G.I. Joe movies.
Why? No one likes the first ones.
No.
Okay.
They weren't good. I mean, the first one was okay, and then the second one
The second was horrible.
I think they were just so bent on like getting name actors to be in the movie.
Yeah, basically, and it wasn't good.
And then they died in the first 2 seconds.
Well,
2
Channing
minutes.
Tatum was in the first one, and then they killed him. And I was like,
right. And then
what?
Bruce Willis had a short scene in the movie. Man, I couldn't get that word out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did not need to be in the movie.
And none of these people need to be in this movie.
That movie wasn't good.
No.
So yeah, that's happening. Sure.
Do we have details on this or just?
No, it's just happening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Okay.
Just let you guys know that it's happening.
All right.
The Joker is what the movie's called. Is expected to make between 60 and 90 million in its first.
I don't know.
weekend.
What is this movie about?
The origin of Joker.
The trailer makes no sense to me. I don't get it. Like,
People
I don't
praise that trailer.
The trailer is horrible to me. I don't understand. And why is his
What
body
was
so
it
weird?
to praise?
I don't know.
What was it to praise?
I don't know.
I don't understand. Like, what kind of movie is this?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
They're not sure either.
I am.
But apparently it was shown at like the International Film Festival or whatever, and it got a lot of praise there. So
That means nothing. A lot of movies get praised at the International Film Festival.
it's apparently good.
I mean, I could believe you. I still don't understand what kind of movie I'm supposed to be going to go see.
Yeah, there is kind of like I don't know what it's about.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. And
Yeah, I don't know.
is he a bank robber? Is he a serial killer?
We'll find out, I guess.
Okay.
Next bit of news. This is some real interesting news. So the Disney Plus streaming service, Disney went and announced what the bundle would be like. And so they're bundling Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus together for $12.99 a month.
Yes. I mean, at this point,
$2 less than Netflix.
yes,
That's right.
It is less than Netflix.
Oh, gosh. So wait, so you get all three of these things for less than what you get Netflix for.
Yes.
That's
That is straight up undercutting your competition.
yeah.
That is why they did it. I'm sure in the future that price will go up.
Yeah.
But right now they're just like, because at this point I'm like, Disney, you can just take my money.
Yeah.
I am guaranteed to get this now.
Yeah, they're at this point with what it was, because I didn't know ESPN Plus was going to even be included in this.
Yeah.
So with all three of these, there's no reason anyone has not to bundle this.
Yeah, I mean, you're saving $5. So basically you're getting ESPN for free, or you're getting Hulu for free.
Yeah.
Because it's only the ad version of Hulu, not the ad-free version.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like I'm willing to give up my ad-free version of Hulu for this.
I mean, fine.
Yeah, I don't have to watch commercials. Just do what you do back in the day. Just walk out the room.
Well, I mean, if you have the ad-free version, wouldn't it just be
No.
plus? No.
No.
Oh, you can't bundle ad-free at all?
No.
Oh, man.
It's only ad-supported.
Ads again.
Yeah.
Boo.
So that kind of...
Well, that's probably why they have it so cheap, too, because then they make money from
yeah.
the advertisements as
Which
well.
is still fine. I'm saying, like, I could give up ads for this.
I mean, you know what? Like you said, yeah, it's cool.
I don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I was not expecting $13 for these three. So,
Yeah.
smart moves, man. They're gonna be taking over.
I mean, they definitely won me over.
Yeah.
I don't know that anyone else, and see, that's the problem with how much Disney owns. That's why, like, from a corporate sense, people have issues with this because they own way too much.
Right.
But no one else, if you come up with a streaming service, how can you touch what's offered here?
Right. I mean, they have everything because you figure, like, all right, they have Fox. Fox has, like, FX and all that. So you're getting all of that content.
Yep.
You're getting all of Hulu's, like, original content. I don't watch a lot of the original content. I started watching The Handmaid's Tale.
Okay.
It's actually pretty good. I get why people like the show so much.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
like, you get all of that. You get, like, National Geographic. So you get, like, that plus all your old Disney stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like they cover there's something for everyone on this.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, it's giving you TV for $13.
Basically, which means something's getting canceled.
It might be Netflix.
Yeah.
Let me know when you cancel Netflix.
But I mean, Netflix has kind of been slacking, in my opinion.
Honestly, I can't tell you the last
agree.
time I've watched Netflix.
My son watches it for the cartoon
Well,
stuff.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of kid cartoons and stuff. I can't think of the last time I watched something significant on Netflix.
Jessica Jones is the last thing I watched.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm about to watch Stranger Things.
Okay, yeah, they got
Me too.
Stranger Things, but yeah.
So, yeah, that. Yep, I might pay for Netflix like once a year.
And then just binge it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just take 30 days and just power through it.
Yeah. Some more Disney news. ABC is going to be coming up with another Marvel series. So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is ending next season, and there's going to be another ABC Marvel series coming out, which is supposed to be female-led with a new hero. So I don't know what about.
That's
that was all
had?
the
Like,
information they gave.
That's all.
Yeah, so it was just left for.
So, like, is
speculation.
this going to be a Marvel hero, or this is a hero they're making up that will be added to Marvel?
They're not making somebody up.
No, it's gonna be like Squirrel Girl or something.
Well, they were supposed to do Damage Control. It was supposed to be a comedy show, and they never did.
I don't know what that is.
It's Damage Control is like the cleanup crew. They clean up after the superheroes fights and stuff.
That's interesting.
And it was supposed to be a comedy. It makes sense. They're like kind of like the Office comedy show,
Right.
With them cleaning up after the heroes. But I think they didn't do it because was it called Powerless?
DC had a show that was
DC
similar
did
to
it,
that,
yeah.
and it wasn't good.
It wasn't good, but it was kind of different because they were like advertisement or
They were like
R&D.
Yeah, like R&D. I
Yeah.
think they like worked in the background for people.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I feel like Marvel would have done it better anyway. Because
Marvel
what was
does
that? What was Powerless on? CBS,
CBS or NBC.
NBC.
Probably it sounded like an NBC show.
Yeah, NBC. I think it was on NBC.
Yeah.
So, which is hit or miss, I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
So I
It
think they
is.
should have went ahead with not Powerless, with Damage Control.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably would have been funny.
Yeah.
Especially since they have the wider Marvel universe to pull from.
That and Marvel also just makes better shows.
Yeah, they do for the most part. If we don't count Iron Fist and
Inhumans.
Inhumans.
Yeah. Okay, but that's 2 misses out of like 10 hits.
True. Yeah. Pretty good.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's that. And more Marvel news. I'm sorry, it's always Marvel news. Like that's like all I see in the news.
Because Disney does it.
That's all that's there, and they own everything. So
Yeah.
probably all that you're going to hear.
So, Runaway Season 3, we already mentioned, coming out at the end of the year. It is confirmed that it will cross over with Cloak and Dagger. It's going to be one episode. It'll be,
Oh, just one?
yeah, apparently.
Oh, that made it seem like it was going to
Okay.
be like a whole bunch.
Yeah, I was like, I would kind of want more than one episode, but, you know.
So it's going to be
whatever.
like one episode in their season and then one episode in Cloak and Dagger season, maybe?
Maybe, but Cloak and Dagger's not going to be till, like, what, next spring?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually when it come out.
So, okay.
So, yeah. But, I mean, still cool. Everybody's been calling for them to cross over, so they are, which is pretty cool, which links them with the Netflix series, which technically confirms that they are a part of the MCU.
The MCU. Yep.
because while the Netflix series didn't really touch on the MCU a lot, it never like stepped on the MCU's foot like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, I feel like the Netflix series seems more in the MCU than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. So it was basically, they said, hey, it's a part of the MCU, and then they just went forward with it.
Which is fine, because they're in their own little corner of New York City.
Yeah. And actually, all of our heroes aren't in New York City anymore, so except for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's in Queens, so.
Right. Yeah, he's not headed down to Harlem.
Yeah. So there's that. This was a really interesting story. Danny Trejo, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, he actually got to be a real hero. So there was a news story out that in Los Angeles, a SUV flipped over after somebody T-boned it, and he was in the area, rushed out, and went in to, like you say, he could smell the gasoline or whatever, and he pulled a little kid out who was, I'm trying to think. I know he was special needs, a special needs child. So he was able to save him, and he said to calm him down, he told them they needed to use their superpowers in order to get through the situation, which was nice. I thought it was a really nice story, because he usually plays villains.
He does.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to him, but I mean,
he looks like a villain.
He looks like a villain.
Yeah.
He usually fits for the roles, but it was a touching story. It was great to see.
Yeah. That's good.
Happen,
Yeah. Something nice.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, you never know what you would do when you're faced in a situation like that.
Yeah.
So, to hear about someone actually doing that is always good to hear.
Yeah, rushing in, trying to save them. Because, I mean, they were upside down.
Yeah.
So, and the kid's strapped in a car seat and everything. So,
yeah.
Yeah, so pretty good. And they're both okay. It was a kid and his grandmother. They're fine.
Cool.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
No casualties.
No casualties. Some kind of funny news. Gwyneth Paltrow. So it is apparent that she definitely does not watch any of the Marvel movies or have any idea what's going on in them. Which for her and her character is like fine. She really doesn't have to, But it was funny because it came out that she didn't know that Samuel L. Jackson was Nick Fury.
Wait, what?
Yes.
I mean, okay, earlier she didn't know.
She didn't know that she was in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah, she didn't know she was in Spider-Man Homecoming, which I can get if you didn't see the movie and they say, hey, show up here, shoot this scene, and that's it.
Yeah, with how Marvel films and they don't actually tell them everything.
Right, that's fine.
Yeah.
But how do you not know he's Nick? I mean, that means she doesn't pay attention at all to people that's been paying her for the last 10 years.
Clearly.
Not at all. Because I'm like, wait, you didn't know Sam Jackson was Nick Fury? Because apparently the story is during the funeral scene. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, the actors did not know what was going on there. They told... Some actors did.
They told him it was a wedding.
Yeah, they told Tom Holland that it was a wedding.
I think they told Sebastian Stan that, too.
So... And they're like, who's getting married? So
right, they're like, man, y'all really holding tight to the script.
Yeah, and he was wondering where Robert Downey Jr. was because he wasn't in the scene. So that's funny. But apparently in that scene, she was also confused because she was like, why is Sam Jackson here? And everyone was like, he's Nick Fury. So that is funny, but I will give her a pass. It's not like if she was another character, I would be like, excuse me. But Pepper, if she was not in an Iron Man movie, she literally only had like one scene in whatever movie she was in.
That's true. She's not even in Iron Man, she's not in the movies a lot. I think Iron Man 3 was her biggest role in Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
However, I do feel like at some point you should have watched these movies, right?
At least the ones you were in.
I feel like everyone else watches everyone else's movies.
True. Well, most of them watch all of them. Like, I'm pretty sure Robert Downey Jr. has watched every Marvel movie.
Exactly. Well, he's also in like every other Marvel movie.
That's true.
But I feel like, I mean, I guess she's not obligated to watch them. but I would think that she would have seen some of them.
Yeah.
Maybe the first Iron Man movie, at least.
Yeah.
I mean,
That means, well, she didn't stay after the credits.
I mean,
or that means she couldn't have watched the second Iron Man movie.
She clearly didn't. She walked in that premiere and walked in the door and out the door.
Wow.
She stayed on the red carpet, literally. It was just like, oh, here we go. All right, bye.
But that's not surprising.
Either that or she doesn't have a good memory.
I mean, okay. It is.
All right, either way, it sounds bad.
It does sound
She's a
bad.
crazy person, so that's not surprising.
Yeah, but an example came up about like how they don't know what they're filming for some of the times because, wow, I forgot her name, but Captain Marvel.
Brie Larson.
Thank you. Sorry, sometimes I forget people's names. It's not a big thing, but Brie Larson, when she filmed that after credit scene for her movie,
she filmed it before.
Yeah, she was by herself.
Yeah.
She did not know who she was talking to.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
It's kind of weird to be like, stand here and look to the left.
Yeah, right. And say these lines.
Yeah.
In action.
But she filmed it before Infinity War was out. So.
Oh, go ahead. I just thought of something I wanted to talk
what the
about.
hell was for.
Yeah, so that's why she wouldn't know who was in that.
Mm-hmm.
Or why she was asking where Fury is.
Yeah.
They didn't have him there.
Yeah. It's interesting. And that kind of reminds me of the Spider-Man people were saying that like they didn't get like the full thing of what was happening in Infinity War and Endgame. Mm-hmm. So they told them like basically they knew Robert Downey Jr. was going to die.
Yeah, that's
but that was just like basically that's all they told them.
Oh, how they do the gym scene where everybody disappeared and then came back?
I don't know. They told him some stuff, and then the guy, I think like the hair writer guy, he's like he knew, but then he couldn't tell a lot of other people.
Yeah.
So this is like it's kind of hard to write a movie where you can't really tell people what's going on.
Yeah. But I guess they could have done that scene late. They could have done it because it was only 2 actors you needed.
Yeah. And
then the montage thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. Oh, and other interesting note, not on that point, but that's a little interesting thing about what they did with, is it Professor Hulk or Smart Hulk?
I think they called it Smart Hulk.
So they initially had him turn into that in Infinity War.
Hmm.
And they decided that they didn't think it fit. So they took it out. Mm-hmm. Except for they already shot Endgame with Professor Hulk in it.
Oh, so they had to change the scene.
So there was like, so basically we were going to see him transform into Professor Hulk.
Wow.
But they took it out of Infinity War. But since he was already in Endgame, they basically had to say, oh yeah, this happened off screen.
That's why, and I didn't mind it much, but that was a complaint because it was like, okay, his character arc just happened off screen, you know.
Yeah, a lot of complaint was like, how come we didn't get this build-up transformation, and we would have.
Well,
they cut it.
It leaked that he was supposed to burst out of the Hulkbuster armor. Like when they were, when Thor came in to save him and they were all being overwhelmed, he was going to bust out of the Hulkbuster armor at that point.
Yeah.
So he was going to be Smart Hulk. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they took it out, and then they end up like changing things at the end of Infinity War. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's really interesting. It makes a lot of sense.
It does make sense.
Yeah, it does.
In order for them to do that and not ruin like the movie is.
Yeah. But I think that's the negative side to shooting movies like that. When you're shooting movies in between each other, one movie's done and you decide to change something in the movie that happened before it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's rough.
Yeah, but I think it all worked out. I mean, I didn't mind the fact that we didn't see the transformation. I know that was a big issue with a lot of people, but I was fine.
I mean, I didn't mind. I thought it was a little weird that you kind of just completed because they set up this whole arc and they just kind of finished it.
Right. It's just 5 years later. Hey, guess who's not this anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's wow, and it's gotta be even harder now they're putting shows in here too. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess the shows are going to be shot all at once though.
I also think that it's going to be easier because I don't think that they're going to have something. Excuse me. That's going to be as secretive as Infinity War and Endgame was.
Okay.
So I don't think we're going to have that issue so much anymore. Because you figure, like, Avengers wasn't this secretive.
No, it wasn't.
I think they, like, for these two movies, because they didn't really want you to know how it was going to happen, what was going to happen.
Well, it needed, in order for these movies to work, it needed to be a surprise.
Right. So I feel like for, like, these next set of movies, I don't think you're going to have that issue anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, it's just, you don't have to be extra secretive about.
5.
Yeah, until, you know, they secretly throw in the scrolls and we'll be like, I knew it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that thread is going to be kind of weaved through all the movies. Like, even in Black Widow's movie, I think they might throw some in there because they've been around since the 90s. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think there's definitely will be some of those in there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't think we'll have that issue where everything is under lock and key so much anymore.
All right, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Some Bond 25 news.
Oh, is it good?
No.
Okay.
So apparently, they've been having some peeping Tom issues.
Wait, what?
What?
Yeah, on the set bathrooms. One person got arrested already for planting cameras in the bathroom, and then another person he got away, but he like stuck his cell phone underneath the stalls or whatever.
Do these people work for the movie company?
I don't know, and that's my question. I'm like, how did the person that got arrested? No, he didn't. So I'm like, how did you get in?
Are people just strolling onto the set of Sony Pictures and?
Which is weird. I'm like, wouldn't you have more security? Because you have, you know, the actors there, and I'm pretty sure like they're like protect the actors type of deal.
You would think.
This is so weird. I'm like, I don't.
It is weird.
At this point, just straight to DVD this movie.
God, I'm like, why is this happening? But yeah, that's about all the news that I had. Did you have some more?
I did have some things. I had a few more points. Disney Plus, that's their streaming service, apparently is going to reboot Home Alone, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Cheaper by the Dozen, and Night at the Museum. Okay. These are all going to get rebooted on Disney Plus, apparently. I don't know why, but that's the thing. That's happening.
Whatever. Like, I wouldn't want to watch any of these, but I guess as like, because like Home Alone, you're not going to recapture that. You know, it's not going to be the same. But I guess for like my son,
but here's my issue: just show me the original.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I mean, we saw stuff that our parents. But I don't need a reboot of Andy Griffin. I know what Andy Griffin is. You don't have to reboot that for me. If you want to show Night at the Museum and all the other stuff, just show
put it on there.
Just put it on there.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of stuff we saw was before our time, but we watched it because you put it on TV.
True. Home Alone doesn't need a reboot.
You can just show Home Alone.
Home Alone. It stands up.
You can't get better than the classic anyway.
Yeah. Well, It's not going to.
It's not going to. It's going to be horrible, and we're all going to say, "Why did you do this?"
Yeah.
With all reboots.
I guess they wanted to be modern.
How is it not modern? It's a boy in a house getting robbed. What's going to be different? The size of the TV?
Yep.
That's it.
They're going to be like, people don't have those TVs anymore.
Right. He's going to have a tablet now that does most of the stuff? Okay, great.
Right.
All his traps are going to be computer-based.
Okay, so what? The movie held up on its own. These other ones I haven't seen.
Night at Museum? I haven't seen Night at Museum.
I've seen Night at Museum.
I think Diary of a Wimpy Kid is based off of some books, I think.
It's a book series. Yeah.
But I feel like this is unnecessary, but okay.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. But that's what they're doing, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Next, I have, apparently Fox is losing a lot of money for Disney, and Disney is not happy.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently their financial guy needs to be fired because he did not tell them how much money they were going to lose. Yeah. So.
Yeah, they said, like, before they went through with the acquisition, like,
yeah,
this was not unexpected.
Yeah, they did not realize. And a lot of it has to do with Dark Phoenix. And then I think some movie about a dog is getting ready to come out that says it's not going to make some money.
What? I thought, what movie about a dog?
I don't know. It's that guy from This Is Us. This is how I drive fast, or Driving in the Rain, or something.
Okay. Yeah, but a lot of the Fox properties that were on the slate to come out, like, they're not making money.
No.
And, like, Disney is not to blame for it, because this is, like, Dark Phoenix was Fox's movie.
Yeah, all of these are Fox things that are still coming out that are still losing money. And Fox has been losing money for years, so...
Yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah.
That's why they sold.
Yes, but this is huge. Disney isn't happy. I get it. You guys are used to making profit, but, not this quarter.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay, so they lost money this quarter. They've made $8 billion this year.
Yes, but you like to see profits.
They made $8 billion this year.
Yeah, no, wouldn't that be nice?
Like,
It would.
Like, okay, I get it. But you know what? This is a transition period. They should probably have expected loss. Well, I guess they did, but
just not this big.
Not this much.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hey, I mean, a loss is a loss. My last bit of thing I had was Robert Liefeld.
Mm-hmm.
He is the co-creator of Deadpool. Apparently, he posted a picture on Instagram of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and action figures of a guy named Garrison Kane. I had to make sure I said it right.
Oh, okay.
And he basically was asking The Rock to be in the next Deadpool movie as Garrison Kane, who was AKA Weapon X. And I don't know what this guy's power is, but I am all down for The Rock being in the MCU.
Well, he was in talks somewhere. Like, didn't we mention that? Or
I think he met with Kevin Feige or something. So I think the MCU is very interested in having it. Apparently, the guy who created Deadpool is very interested in him being in the next one. So, I mean, I'll be down for that. I don't care who he plays.
When is the next Deadpool going to be?
Yeah, it's going to be a while, I bet.
They can't wait too long on Deadpool.
Well, you got all these other stuff you got to do. You got to figure Phase 4 and 5 was like already like going before they finish up all the Fox stuff.
Yeah. But you can keep him set. Like, he doesn't have to show up in Avengers movies.
No, he doesn't. But Disney can only come out with so many movies.
That's true.
So, yeah, he doesn't have to show up, but they got to have time to make these movies.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. We'll see what happens. Yeah. But, okay. I would like to see that. The Rock and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Sitting there.
Sounds like a very interesting movie. Because this guy apparently was a part of the Weapon X program, even though his name is also Weapon X. I am very confused on how people's names can be Weapon X, and Weapon X is the program.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
What was his name again?
Garrison Kane. Apparently he's like a cyborg or something.
I think
him and Cable have some past together.
Something like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen him before. Now that you mention it.
Yeah. So he definitely works inside that Deadpool realm.
Okay.
But I am not familiar with his superhero.
Can be interesting. I wonder how they're going to tie Deadpool into the previous Deadpools. It's got to continue.
It will continue.
Yeah, so it's interesting because like I said before, he's the one that would be able to still be around and notice that his universe has changed. You know, because that's his character.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to see that.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Well then, I guess it's on to what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Dharma, what are you doing?
So, I am watching Suits. You guys know what the show's about?
Yes.
Yeah, lawyers. So, the main theme of the show is that a guy, he's really smart. And he had a chance to go to college, but because his friend is stupid and ratchet, he got kicked out. So, he never got a chance to go. But he's smart, and so, he used to, take the LSAT, which is the entry exam to get to law school. He can pass the bar without actually being in law school. That's how smart he is. So he gets hired
I don't think that's allowed though, but
to take the bar without going to law school.
You have to.
There's a
way, but you can't just be a Joe Smo off the street.
I think he took the bar more as in like the guy from Catch Me As You Can took the bar.
Okay.
As in I sat in this test, I took and passed it because I'm smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a way like you can take an engineering and get your license without actually going to school.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so basically he gets hired as a lawyer without actually being a lawyer. And the whole premise of the show was that, the guy who his boss knows he's not, and it's like him trying to hide the fact that he's not a real lawyer. And everyone at this law firm has to go to Harvard. And so he's like, yes, I went to Harvard, but he didn't go to Harvard. So the show was good. It's ridiculous because obviously something like that would never happen.
No.
And if you practice law without a license, you will go to jail. And anyone who knew that would get this barred and go to jail.
Yes.
And so the show was entertaining. It's over the top, But my problem is like What I don't understand, and I guess it defeats the whole purpose of the show if they did this, is two things. One, if you like this kid so much and he's so smart, why not just hire him as an intern and let him go to school? Then in 2-3 years, he will be a lawyer. Mm-hmm. And then you would have to do all the sneaking around. Right?
Right.
And then the other thing I didn't get is like slowly people start to find out that this guy is not a real lawyer. And at first,
he's doing stupid stuff.
Well, no, it's just like one time his friend who like basically got him kicked out of college told on him because he was salty because he stole his girl. And basically,
it's always a girl.
So he told on him, and the girl, and so she's like the name partner, like her name is her law firm.
Yeah.
So she's mad. She's like, you need to fire him. And the dude's like, if you fire him, I leave. Okay, he can stay. Uh-huh. I was like, wait,
okay.
What? Like, so now you're putting your own law. So it's like eventually, as everyone find out, they're all angry. We can go to jail. We can get sued. Blah blah blah. And then they're like, I won't tell if you do this.
Course. So none of these people are good people.
None of these people are good people. No. The guy's like, I want to be named partner. Put my name on the door or I'm telling. She's like, you only hire people from Harvard. He's not even a lawyer. Let me go to Columbia and I won't tell. Like, dudes, you're all awful people. But it's a good show and I like it. And it has that one chick that married Prince What's His Face in it.
Okay. Oh. What, Meghan Markle?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's I didn't know she was in there.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. Yeah, she left the show. Apparently, you can't work and be. Apparently, they don't let their women do things
she's
in
royalty.
London. People in London, y'all gonna hate me. Explain to me why are you paying for these people to do nothing? They do nothing.
No comment.
Just I don't understand why you like these people so much.
Because it's the queen. Well, the queen does have powers still.
Do she?
Yeah.
Isn't that what Parliament and the Prime Minister is for?
Yeah, I mean they make the laws and stuff, but she has to sign off on them, and I believe she can still declare war.
She signed off on that Brit exit thing?
No.
Oh, so then she has no power.
Okay. That was different.
That's huge. I feel like that's something the Queen should be weighing in on. It is your country that's walking away from the EU.
Yeah, well.
So, again, British people, explain to me why you're paying for these people to do nothing.
It's their royalty, so leave them alone. I'm not going to touch how their country works. Not when I live in the U.S. So, what I'm doing, this one's going to be more of what my 3-year-old's doing.
How interesting.
Yeah. Well, it actually is kind of interesting. So on Netflix, I found this show. It's called something Bots. God, I forgot the name of the show.
Already interested in it.
But it's like these little robots, and they just cover a bunch of questions like how does the eye work or learning about music. Here's the twist, though. They have like big name actors and people come on the show. Like he was watching it, and then I walked in and I was like, is that John Legend? like John Legend was just on the show. I'm like, okay. And another episode, Zoe Saldana was on there. And I'm like, okay, so it's like every episode it's a different question that they're covering, showing how something works or why this happens, and then there's a big named celebrity on the show as well. Not that that means anything to him, because he knows no celebrities at all, except for Blippi, whatever that guy is.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, interesting. So, is he learning things while he's watching this?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He can tell me how the eye works?
I'm pretty sure he cannot tell you how the eye
then
works.
He's not learning things.
It's learning.
He will remember it later on in life, though.
Yeah.
And he's going to be sitting there like, why do I know this?
Yeah, yeah. Well, because I told him that for him, the alphabet is no longer educational. Because, like, you learn the alphabet once. You can't continue to learn, and he
likes it.
Yeah, but it's no longer educational TV. Okay, you're just watching it for fun.
Oh, okay. So, excuse him for watching TV for fun.
So, yeah. But I try... Look, I want some educational stuff. If we're going to give you time watching TV, I want it to be educational.
Okay. Your kids are goofy, though, so.
Whatever.
I mean, he is.
And another part of my thing is just going to be kind of a DJ rants section.
Continue.
But my neighbors, okay, they got this. They got this deer deterrent thing. Mm-hmm. And it's like a sound thing, I guess. And for the longest, like I kept leaving my house and I would hear this ringing and I'm like, what is that? Like, and I have an electric car, so I'm like, is there something wrong with my car? Mm-hmm. Is my car making this sound? I don't know what's going on. But I'm like, no, it's not that. And one day we're in the back and I see it because like when you walk towards like they have a little garden, like the lights start flashing on it and then you hear these high-pitched ringing noises, which like you have, what is it called? Tinnitus? Mm-hmm. Where you hear the ringing sound. And it's so annoying. I get that you don't want the deer back there, but
you should call the cops.
I should call the cops.
Look, my neighbors can call the cops on me. You can call the cops on your neighbors.
Okay.
It's a noise disturbance. You're trying to sleep. Whatever. Just make it up.
I can't hear it in my house.
Wait. I'm confused. Did we just bypass about your neighbors calling the cops on you?
Yep.
Yeah.
She's a criminal.
I am.
Oh my gosh, you had a couple of people over there.
I had a couple of people. And when I say a couple of people, a literal couple of people.
Yeah, 2 other people.
2. Anyways, my neighbors.
Music?
They filed a noise complaint. And of course, living in the lovely suburb that I live on that fights no crime. They sent 3 cops. I was like,
3?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, oh, that's a lot of people for a noise disturbance.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, like, was music loud? Like, the TV?
No. I feel like chilling, listening to music. I mean, like, literally, we're sitting at the table I'm sitting at now, listening to music, talking, helping my friend with her wedding.
They were in our recording studio?
They were in our recording studio, yes. We were listening to music, trying to pick songs for her wedding.
But
wow,
yeah.
What did the cops say? This is the best what you're doing.
Well, they do that cop knock, and I was like, the cops are here.
Wait, you know what a cop knock is?
It's a shame that we know what a cop knock is.
No, don't say we. I don't know anything
you don't know
about a cop knock.
Which one of us know what the inside of a cop car look like?
I do.
Actually,
the reason why is not important.
Wait, you can't take the reason why out.
Yes, I can. It sounds so much more interesting that way.
Oh, yes. I know what the back of a cop car looks like. Because actually today I went to something called Meet the Machines for my son, and they had a cop car there.
What is this nerdy stuff you be going to?
They had like bulldozers and backhoes that he can go and he can climb in and he can sit in them, and then they had police cars and a fire truck, and you had fun. And he got in the back of the police car, which I have to say, horrible. The seats are plastic.
Yes, they're plastic.
What? I just learned that today at 29.
It is not.
Was the
made
seats
for
not
you
plastic
to be...
in the car you were in?
That was RTA.
Oh.
I mean, that there are legitimate police, but that was RTA, and it was just a regular. It wasn't like a.
They didn't have the screen or whatever.
No.
Oh,
so it was just a regular car. It wasn't a squad car.
Yes, the seats are plastic because people are gross. So you can just hose the back of the car out.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's why the seats are plastic. Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, so you should take your son when they tour my place of employment.
Huh?
You should take your son. So every September they have like an open house where I work. You should take him.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. Well, I may wait till he's little. That way he can learn and be there.
Y'all have a take your kid to work day?
Yeah, not my office place. The plant.
I don't want to go to your water plant.
Why not? You learn.
I know how water plants work.
I said take your son.
Okay.
You took him to take a cop car. This is better.
It's to scare him to never be put in the back of a cop car.
Please.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he remembered that.
Yeah.
No, he was just excited that it was a police car. You know, he runs a police car, and you know he's happy. So.
Wait for 10 years from now.
Yeah, I'm like, you won't be so happy to see a police car.
Totally different reaction.
The lights start flashing.
It's
You're
gonna
like,
be oh no, it's a police car.
I wasn't speeding, officer. I promise. Yeah. All right. Well, that's about it. So, guys, if you enjoyed 3D Rivals, make sure you subscribe wherever you listen, wherever you get your podcast, and you can reach out to us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/3D Rivals. Also, you can send us an email, 3drivals@gmail.com, or tweet at us at 3_rivals. Other than that, thank you very much for listening, guys, and peace out.
Peace out.